Kimberly, I just answered your question. So just so you know, what I was sharing is that this has actually been, I had seen your DM and we were talking about it as a team in a team meeting. What we are looking to do is not just with independent contractors, but we want to support also Latina founded companies as well. So we want to develop a system that is clear and transparent, that is mutually beneficial for both our community and those who are running Latina founded and run businesses. So that is something that is quick TBD, and that's coming. That we'll talk about internally on how we want to build it soon. So definitely appreciate the approach of having a quick Google sheet. One of the things we're looking to avoid because of all of the cleaning up we're currently doing is we want to build things for that are going to be longer lasting and easy for folks to access um, and can grow with us. So we want to make sure that the processes that we're doing are matching along with where we're going. So we're that is a priority that we want to do. And so trust is coming along. But definitely we'll reach out to you more about that. Questions, comments? Okay. Ileana, thank you for that question. What are other ways that community members can help you and the rest of the team? Wonderful question. One of the things that we're doing is asking folks that if you have any leads on people that we should be talking to, whether it's local community organizations that you really are impressed with and want us to collaborate with, or companies that you work with that you're like, hey, this would make sense for us to collaborate with. Or if you see opportunities for grants, I know LA is currently in the midst of applying for a really cool grant around like funding for startups. So if you see any of those, so please reach out to us so that we can support in getting those conversations started and launched, because what we really want to do is build up services and resources for the community. The other thing is, we are going to be soon, and when I say soon, I mean really within the next couple weeks, be asking for community feedback on topics that are going to be impacting our organization. So just to give you all a heads up, one of the things we're going to be first talking about is talking about like how we approach our no tech for ICE policy, because I think that that's extremely important that we maintain our stance, and we want to talk about like how do we as a community stand together to do that, and what does that look like as we grow. The other thing that is we're going to be asking for is for when we do our surveys to please respond, because the demographic data that we're able to tell companies about and organizations about and grants about our community really helps us get the ability to access more funding and opportunities for us as a whole. And yes, thank you, Maricela. You can also help and attend events that are being organized in your local area.
Just show up. Just show up to things. Check out the events page and show up.
100%.
And yeah, like I volunteered for organizations, and it's so much easier to just show up and be like, I want to volunteer, because then they see you have taken the time to come, you have the ability to come, you've taken the time out, and they can see you, and hopefully you're not too crazy or stinky or something where they're like, I don't want you around.
Wow, that's how we gonna be? Nah.
It's recorded too. I've been holding it in. It's recorded.
We no, like for on the real, one of the things that really inspired me about even applying for the role as executive director of Techqueria is just the grassroots community that this place has developed. I've been coming to Techqueria events since like 2017 here in New York. And one of the things that like really struck me immediately was like, I didn't realize I needed this space till I was here. I didn't realize that being around people who grew up in similar spaces like me, who look like me, who were navigating their own careers in the way that they were, the way that like my imposter syndrome kind of like disappeared and was able to be inspired and supported by like-minded people, and knowing that like we're doing this together as a community, it's been so transformative to my soul that I'm really, really just inspired to help do that for others. And so all of you have been doing such an incredible job of making this a welcoming space for everybody. And so that's what I really want y'all to continue doing, is that as we continue to grow, because we got close to 18,000 people in this Slack community. And every month we have 3,000 active users. And so making this a space where people feel comfortable to connect with one another and confident to share all the things, from like the woes that they're having at work to the ridiculous memes y'all be sharing on the regular basis, making this a space where people get a sense of joy and support from la comunidad, you know? I'm so glad that you've been that you took the time to host it, Maricela. Take up that space, just like you said.
Yeah, Charlie's a regular. I'm like looking around for people. But yeah. I'm like, I can't might not remember your names if you're not on video, guys.
I'm going to take a moment to chime in. I've been trying to find a good spot to weave in, but hi, this is my first official meeting with Techqueria. I've been sort of like a wallflower, just reading lots of resources, trying to get, I think, as familiar as possible. But yeah, my name is Samantha Lopes. I just go by Sam. I am Mexican and Portuguese, so very excited to represent the community. And one of the things that I was curious about is, so one of the reasons I joined Techqueria not only was to build and be a part of the community, but was to find ways to give back to the community. And so certainly I think the pieces that I'm particularly interested in are like volunteerism, any sort of pro bono work. When you put on events, what is even the process of deciding like what events become events? Do we, for example, have people who offer training? So for my career, I'm diversity, equity, and inclusion. I lead some of the DEI work for my firm, and I do the work for our employee resource groups. So lots of volunteerism, all that stuff. But if we wanted to do, like, for example, if I wanted to offer to do a training session for the community on a particular topic that I can specialize in and share research on, do I do the volunteer channel? Is that the best place to go? Is that even the process? Or are we kind of still in that ducks in a row mode where we would want some time to figure that out?
Samantha, thank you so much for that. And first of all, welcome. Thank you for coming out of I don't want to say out of hiding, because lurking doesn't mean that you're in hiding. It just means that you're just, checking out what the space is. But to answer your question, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, especially when we're talking about like virtual events. I know Alexis is going to roll out a new program that's going to be leveraging our LinkedIn community. So there's availability of like having sessions on there. There's also our summits that are coming up. I know we have our big annual summit that everyone's aware of, but we have some fun, exciting new things that we're also going to be introducing this year. TBD, which will give more opportunities for being able to provide sessions for the community as a whole. And also, like, if you're thinking about doing more localized things, if you are near a chapter of one of the Techqueria chapters, currently we have 9 chapters, which is New York, Atlanta, Jesus Christ, sorry. We have New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Milwaukee, Denver, Austin, Bay Area, San Diego, LA, and oh my God, am I forgetting one? If I did, I'm so sorry. But if you're near one of those major chapters, you can hit up one of the chapter directors to see if there's something that you're looking to do locally. So there's going to be opportunities for virtual that we'll do a community call out for. And then if you want to do something locally, definitely hit up your local chapter directors.
Perfect. Very helpful. I'm like right in between, so I'd be either LA or San Diego. I'm in
Hey.
so I'm like right in between, the best of both worlds.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maricela, for sharing the links. But yes, there are, okay. I'm hesitant on teasing new things because we want to make sure that we build out the things and have more information. But essentially, we want more big events that we have like these marquee moments together as a community, and they will be happening, and you'll hear more about them soon because they're gonna be dope. So yeah.
Just know we're taking advantage of our resources, and like Jolie's mentioned, one of our 4 pillars, right? The first one is community first. So we need to make sure like wherever we're reaching and showcasing these events, they're on the correct platforms, the most accessible platforms. That's why in the chat I was like, LinkedIn is our new bestie. Because there's LinkedIn Live, there's LinkedIn Audio. But just know a lot of our events, and I'm sorry, I'm a little, normally I have more higher energy. I'm just exhausted right now. But in reference to like what our events are going to be showcased around, the team and I have taken this super serious in incorporating our 4 pillars, right, of our values. And so you can expect a lot of information useful for nonprofits, for our community, and even for corporations, which are inclusive of the community first, the data-driven insights, transparency, and radical inclusivity. And it's obviously like one of the main things that we do in our events is we like to introduce things that our community may not be aware of, right? So that's, as we know, we've covered it. If you haven't seen some of our summit topics before, we always are sure to like showcase things like I said, that our community isn't super aware of. So, taboo technology, even like positions and roles, non-technical and technical within health technology, and even like entrepreneurship, VC, like these are the things that we really want to incorporate and share these resources, and also upping our resources in the best way possible to make sure that they actually help everyone here. So that's it's I don't know if that was a tease or not, but like again, it's not a shocker, right? Like we're hosting this presentation to show you what we're focusing on. So which, like I said before, it's our 4 pillars. So we're really, really excited, and we're really, really happy to see a lot of familiar faces on this call, a lot of new faces on this call. And we're just excited to like hit the ground running and have more of these conversations. Some may be a breeze and some may be difficult conversations, but nonetheless, we're a grassroots community and they have to be discussed. So really, really excited to continue forth. 2024 is going to be a big year. Am I a little nervous? Yes, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And I hope folks that are on this call continue to spread the word and showcase. And some of these topics that we'll talk about, they honestly could be tedious, right? But they're conversations that need to be had. So please encourage folks that to hop into these conversations as well. And please continue partaking in these conversations because we really appreciate you all being here.
Yeah. I also want to thank you so much for that, Alexis. I wanted to touch real quick on something Samantha shared also about like giving back to the community. One of the key things we're also thinking about this year is like our overall theme is impact. And we talked about the distinction of what we call partners versus community partners. Community partners are often other organizations and nonprofits that are specifically doing work on the localized or national level to support our community. And so we're looking to ensure that our events are much more involved with these community partners as well this year. So, like, for example, it's an election year. we got to address what that looks like and how we as a community are going to be showing up and showing out in that shape or form. We're also thinking about the fact that like DEI is under attack, and and why is it that DEI is considered a bad thing? The moment that Elon Musk said DEI is dead, that was shortly after we decided not to work with them. So I feel like maybe we did that. I'm kidding. Not kidding. um but one of the things we want to do is to be advocates, stand 10 toes down in what we believe in, and also support our community both on a local level and a national level, whether that's through advocacy, whether that's through civic engagement, whether that's through doing things like beach cleanups, which some of our chapters have done before, or supporting local nonprofits that work with high school students that are learning to code, or just or supporting local centers that are supporting folks who are going through domestic violence. So it's thinking about like what is necessary to your community, and how can we as Techqueria, as the fact that we represent so many intersectional identities, how can we support across the board in the meetups that we do. So, we do have our often, just happy hours. That's a great time. But how do we make our events more effective to have a bigger impact as well? Hello, hello. I'm noting that it is, at least on the East Coast, 5:26. So we'll soon have been together for an hour. So I want to give 4 more minutes if you have any more questions, comments, concerns. And know that we are able to respond via DM, respond via like chat and community channels. While Alexis, Valeria, and I are navigating a lot of things, we will get back to you. We promise. We're here again just to support the success of everyone involved in our community, because it's so much bigger than just getting a job. It's about making an impact.
Period. I see what you did there. Love it. Also, as you guys know, this is recorded, so this will be also posted in our announcements channel. So any questions that you couldn't think of now, it's okay. Like, please just pop it underneath. Even though Jolie said to like message us or whatever the case, I actually highly encourage, unless it's like a super personal question in regards to this. But like, I highly suggest you comment underneath it and ask your questions, so that maybe, because your question could be someone else's question, or your input could be someone else's input as well. So by Monday, because it's end of day for me and Jolie's, but by Monday this will be posted up in the announcements channel. Everyone will have access to it, and everyone will also be able to see the oh my god, I'm blanking, the presentation link. Ooh, girl, I am tired. Everyone will also
Friday evening. It is dark.
Everybody will have the link to the actual presentation as well, to look over, to look through, to process, and etc. So yeah, so like I said, unless it's like, hey, this is really private, I'm gonna hit you up on the side, I get that, but toss it underneath the announcements channel, and we'll also be openly answering questions there too.
Yep. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate you. Like, Techqueria wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for you.
For real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to one of our chapter directors on here. I see you, Brian. Hey.
It was so good to meet some of y'all. So good to see some of y'all again.
Yes.
I hope you have a wonderful weekend and you're staying warm, whatever coast you are.
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll see you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.